You're welcome. This one's my favorite though, but it's fragrant.
Yeah, I did. And it's not even so much a male thing. It's a
All right, here's no.
If you have an extra, that's fine. If not, I can pull it up on this.
That's extra.
I need the three, but the rest of them, you have
All right.
That's an extra copy.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Welcome to the November 22nd, 2022 board meeting. Mr. Walker, may we have a roll call, please?
Certainly. Mr. Rich.
Here.
Ms. Fox. Here. Ms. Heinrich.
Here.
Ms. Weems.
Here.
I myself am here. Dr. Blau.
I am here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Awesome. All righty. We will very quickly get to the recognitions of everyone. So just stand by. We'll go through the rest of this as quickly as we can because we really want to celebrate you. All right. Do we have a motion for approval of the agenda? Yes, Mr. Rich.
I move that we approve today's agenda for November 22nd, 2022 regular meeting as presented.
Support.
Motion by Mr. Rich, supported by Mr. Walker. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. Okay. All right. Congratulations are in order for Ms. Weems, Mr. Walker, Ms. Smith, and Mrs. Heinrich. We are grateful to each of you for volunteering and committing yet again to serve the Farmington Public School community as a member of our school board, and we thank the community for returning our colleagues to the table so that we can continue our work together in the service of our students. So let's give them a round of applause. Glad to have you back. While we shared a draft of our board goals at our August board meeting, and while we have already been working toward these goals, this seems an appropriate time to share them with you again this evening in their finalized form, which we will do shortly. We would like to add that in our work on the district strategic planning committees, together with the Farmington Public School administrators, teachers, parents, students, and other community members, we continue our commitment to creating a school system that provides our students with opportunities to maximize their learning and growth. There is one additional matter to address this evening. As a board, we are committed to honesty and integrity in our work on behalf of Farmington Public Schools. It is our hope and expectation that each of us act with honesty and integrity in our roles as board members, as this is the example we seek to set for the students of our community. Further, we value both college and non-college career paths as evidenced by our efforts to expand both the number and variety of career and technical education opportunities available to our students. Finally, each of us has made important contributions to our community in our work as board members. Just as we use restorative practices in our schools, we are working together as a board to do the same. We are all of us human beings, and we choose to extend grace as we would wish grace to be extended to each of us when we stumble, as we all inevitably do in one way or another as we navigate life's many challenges. Again, we thank the community for your continued support of the seven of us and the work we have done and will continue to do together on behalf of our students. Here now are our board goals for the 2022-23 school year. Mr. Rich?
First is to develop and implement new board member onboarding. The board will establish an ad hoc committee to develop an onboarding process for new board members. This work will begin in September 2022, with the first draft scheduled to be completed by June 30th, 2023.
Thank you. Ms. Weems?
Second is to improve data literacy. The board will continue to grow our understanding of how data on student learning, growth, and achievement is collected, disaggregated, and used to inform district decision-making and the services we provide to our students. The board will devote time at each quarterly retreat to review and delve into a deeper understanding of this data. A list of data topics for the year will be discussed and set at our December board retreat.
Thank you, Ms. Weems. Mrs. Heinrich?
Board Goal 2, Explore Innovation. Monitor academic achievement. The board will ask the superintendent to provide quarterly reports to review metrics to ensure student learning needs are being met and to ensure that the district is actively working to provide equitable programming and support services across all buildings for both learning, remediation, and acceleration.
Thank you, Mrs. Heinrich. Mr. Walker?
Explore Michigan Merit Curriculum Options. The board, led by the Legislative Committee, will explore ways in which the MMC state graduation requirements allow for exceptions, substitutions, interpretations, and/or special permission to pilot programs that FPS seeks to implement that align with our profile of a lifelong learner district goals for student growth, learning, achievement, and career readiness. Informed by and coinciding with Year 2 of the FPS strategic planning process, this work will begin in September 2022 and continue through June 2023.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Ms. Fox?
Yes. This is the board goal number 3, which is the profile of a lifelong learner policy alignment. The board, led by the policy committee, will review all board policies to ensure that all policies are in alignment with our new Farmington Public School profile of a lifelong learner. This work will begin in September 2022 with a target of completion by summer 2023 board retreat.
Thank you, Ms. Fox. And finally, oh no, we have 2 more, sorry. Also in Board Goal 3, executing on our vision and strategy, we are going to work to update the FPS vision and mission statements, work that has already begun. Many of you might have been part of those groups, focus groups, who started that work a couple months ago. The board will work together with the superintendent and members of the community, members of his team, to update the FPS vision and mission statements to ensure that they are in alignment with our district's new profile of a lifelong learner. This work will begin in September of 2022 and continue through the end of the school year in June 2023. And we have included community voices in this process as well. Okay, and Mr. Walker.
Board Goal 4, Community Engagement. Host community dialogues. The board will create 4 opportunities for in-depth collaborative discussion together with all interested members of the community around topics that have been expressed by the community as areas of concern regarding our schools. These will occur during the 2022-2023 school year and will be led by neutral facilitators.
Yes, and our Community Engagement Committee is working to set those dates and topics right now. Well, not right now this minute, but you know. Okay, thank you everyone for helping to share our board goals. As I said, we first introduced a draft version of these back at our August meeting and have already been working toward them. This is just their final form. Okay, that is all for my announcements. Mr. Walker, any items from the secretary?
The board has received communications regarding the N-word, classroom students not receiving an appropriate education, and the cell phone policy. Communications are acknowledged, and when appropriate, a response is provided. A list of correspondence can be found in the board packet, which is available on the FPS website.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. All righty, now we are ready for our recognitions. Dr. Delgado.
Thank you, Dr. Blau, and good evening, everyone. So the moment you've been waiting for, we have 3 recognitions this evening, and then after these recognitions, we will take a 10-minute recess so we can come out personally congratulate you. And as much as I know everyone wants to stay for a very riveting board meeting, you could leave at that point if you want to. So first up, can I bring to the podium our wonderful new principal, Dr. Latricia Hurley from Farmington Central, as well as 2 students from her building, Jarrell Harris and Lillian Andrews. If you can come up to the podium. So as they're making their way up, I'll share why we're recognizing these young people tonight. So Jarrell and Lillian communicated about an issue that mattered to them in their class, and they wrote letters directly to President Biden. They didn't know whether or not they would get a response, but they did. And so we are so proud when our young people raise their voices, when they share with the powers that be what matters to them and what's impacting their lives. And so we wanted to bring them here not only to congratulate you on that incredible work and that really courageous work, but to also hear from you directly and from your principal about the topic that you chose, why you chose it, and what it felt like when you received a response and a letter back from the White House. So first of all, maybe Dr. Hurley, can you share with us, this was a civics lesson, this was a civics class, and were all the students writing, or how did this come to be? Oh, and their wonderful teacher?
Yes, all the students wrote, they wrote letters from the governor.
Maybe we can start with oops.
You can use this if you want to. Okay. Just flip it on.
So you can tell them what you wrote about.
I wrote about gun violence in schools and how it affects families and children. And I wanted to just let him know that it's a serious problem and it needs to be dealt with.
I wrote about my younger brother who is transgender, and unfortunately he deals with a lot of bullying in school to the point where it has gotten very bad. And I wrote about how it can affect kids or anybody, and I had also used statistics on how much more transgender people can be affected, hurt, sometimes even killed. But, yeah.
And I know our board members might have some questions, but can you just share with us, what did it feel like when you received a response from the White House, and what did they say?
I was surprised, really, because I didn't expect to receive a letter from the president. And I didn't really expect it because, like, he's really busy and stuff. But, but I was really excited to receive one.
What do you say, Mr. O?
These were not generic letters that they wrote back. It was specific to their topics, which really meant a lot to them.
Yeah.
I felt like it was just, I was just so proud, right? When it happened, I'm hollering and screaming like, oh my God, right? I was like, no, we gotta tell everybody. You know, we gotta frame them, we gotta get it together. And, you know, I'm just very proud of just them using their voice. And that was one of the points that I took away from my interview was the importance of student voice and hearing student voice. So to be able to lift that, I am just honored. So this is the letters that they received. And And they were very specific to responding to their actual personal responses. And like Ms. Hass said, they were not generic. And I was very impressed with their responses. So I'm proud of my two babies.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was reading your letter. Sorry. Yes, Ms. Weems.
So I also read, in addition to reading President Biden's letters back to both of you, I read your letters to the White House, and I was also equally impressed with your writing and how you conveyed what was really important to you. So congratulations on that. We are all very, very proud of you.
Thank you.
I just want to say that don't let this moment be lost on you, the power of your voice, because it is the voice of people your age who change things and make movements happen. And so don't believe ever for a moment that your singular voice does not have an impact, cannot move mountains, and cannot change the world. So congratulations again.
Mr. Rich?
So knowing the amount of correspondence that goes into the White House on a daily basis, the reasons for getting a letter back just shows how powerful your initial letters were, that they not only thought that, one, you should get a letter back, but also that it was fully read and understood and sent back. So that just goes to show the power of your initial letters. And I just urge you to continue with your advocacy, and thank you for, sending these letters in the first place.
Also, one of our community members pointed out that your letters will become part of the National Archives forever.
Wow.
Which is so, as my colleagues have expressed, your voices do matter. And thank you so much for putting forth the effort to stand up and speak out for what you feel is right and fair for yourselves and for others. Thank you so much.
Next up, I'd like to invite our Longacre Elementary School team here for a very special recognition. So as they approach with their principal, Ms. Henry, I can share that the Longacre Elementary School, a Leader in Me Lighthouse School, has recently earned the additional title of Exemplary Academic Proficiency. To achieve this title means that Longacre placed in at least the 85th percentile in the state of Michigan. There are more than 600 lighthouse schools around the world, but only 35 of those schools received the Exemplary Academic Proficiency Lighthouse School honor this year. And Longacre, our very own Longacre, is one of them. Lighthouse certifications come from implementing Leader in Me, which is a comprehensive model that builds leadership and life skills in students with fidelity. Schools use a Lighthouse rubric to measure outcomes in 3 areas: teaching leadership principles, creating a leadership culture, and aligning academic systems. A school will maintain the Lighthouse certification for 2 years. During that time, they will have to continue its growth and proficiency in exemplifying leadership culture within all of their students. So on behalf of our district and the Board of Education, we want to offer a sincere congratulations to this incredible honor to Longacre Elementary earning their Exemplary Academic Proficiency Honor Roll.
Thank you so much. On behalf of all of Longacre, we're really honored to accept this award. And I have members, as you can see, all of our students here. We have Landon, we have Olivia, we have Enzo, Benjamin, and Kevin Carr. I get these two confused, as you can see. We also have members of our PTA and our Parent Lighthouse team here with us tonight as well. Mrs. Truant, Mrs. Beacom, and Mrs. Carr. So thank you so much.
Before you sit down, I'm sure we would love to hear from the students about what is it like to be in a Lighthouse school, in a Leader in Me school.
It feels amazing because Miss Henry is the best. She's the best principal ever in the world. And I just really like her.
It's amazing because there's a lot of good teachers and good friends to make.
I like Longacre because it's a safe school and a nice school.
Maybe your parents, if they'd like to share anything?
They said it best. Our Parent Lighthouse team does a great job of conveying the 7 habits, because we teach the 7 habits of highly effective people to students, the 7 habits of happy kids. And our Parent Lighthouse team and our PTA really help to spread that message and to educate our community at Longacre. And it definitely takes a collective effort, and we're really proud to be here. Thank you.
Don't go yet. Don't go yet, because I think we might have some additional questions or comments. Yes? No? I do. Both of my sons, they're grown-ups now, but they were at Longacre when your school first started with the 7 habits of happy kids. One is a Marine and one is a theoretical physicist, and they still use those skills. Sharpen the saw, seek first to be understood. So you are already learning things that will help you forever in your lives. So congratulations and keep up the great work.
Okay, and now it's my honor to invite up to the podium our Director of Athletics and School Safety, Mr. Tom Shelton, who will begin our Fall Athletics Awards.
Thank you. As you can see, I have a lot of paper here, so.
He's going to probably need some help handing those out.
No, it's all good. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, members of the Board of Education, for allowing us the opportunity tonight to honor some really special athletes who had a very tremendous season with us this fall. It's a great pleasure for me to be able to present and to acknowledge them. As you know, success in athletics as you know, success in academics while being involved in athletics or other extracurricular activities requires a high level of dedication and time management. These students that we're honoring tonight have excelled at both and deserve to be recognized. Many of our coaches and student athletes could not join us this evening. We still have quite a few that were able to, and we're pleased about that. If a student is not present, I'm still going to read their name and acknowledge them, thinking that they may be watching online somewhere remotely from somewhere else. So, like I said, bear with me because we do have lots of awards, and I'm going to try to be expedient but also thorough in getting those through. I should also mention that some of our season end awards have not been announced yet. For example, our varsity football, I believe our swim as well, has not announced their academic all-state awards. So we anticipate even more than what we're honoring tonight, and we'll make sure that we get those presentations to you when they're ready. So, let's see. So logistically, students, what we're going to do is we're going to acknowledge students by groups. We're going to, when I announce your sport, please come up and line up along here in front of the board and face the audience. We'll announce the team awards and the individual awards. Give your parents a chance to snap a picture if they'd like to, and then you can go back to your seat and we'll invite the next team to come up.
Mr. Shelton, I just
Yes.
wanted to add that we're going to take a 10-minute recess after we announce all of the award recipients so that we can take pictures with all of you. So even our Longacre folks, if you want to stick around for a few more minutes, we'd love to take pictures with you. Okay?
Thank
Sorry,
you.
Mr. Shelton.
Thank you, Dr. Ball. And I also wanted to recognize that a complete list of all the students we're honoring tonight was included in the board packet that's available online. So if you are following along at home, or if you want to refer back to that at a later point, that was in the board packet. And I'd like to acknowledge, unfortunately, our building administrators couldn't be with us here tonight, but I do have one of our building athletic coordinators, that's Mr. Mike Cahill, who's here. Mr. Cahill. As you may know, Mr. Cahill is new to the athletic coordinator position at Farmington High School and just completed his first season as athletic coordinator and really did a fantastic job. So thank you, Mr. Cahill, and thank you for being here tonight. A couple of these I'm presenting, but most of them we have coaches with us tonight who are going to be able to acknowledge their teams. So to start with, I would like to invite our Farmington High School soccer team to come up and line up in front of the board. And Coach Tim Russell, if you could come up to present your awards, that would be great.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So, start out first of all, four gentlemen up here, part of our Blue Division winning team this year, so we'll be moving up to the White Division next year, so very proud of them for that. We got our three captains up here from this previous season, Ian Stewart, Hunter Kapalungan, and Adam Sipikowski, and our goalie, Shaylin Odedra. Ian and Adam were both academic all-state winners, and also all-district and all-division, and Hunter was all-division as well. Tremendous group of guys, very hardworking, very dedicated, just really great people across the board, and we had our grade point average was excellent, so, and we had our captains leading the way on that. Really proud of the guys for being outstanding in both the classroom and on the field, so super proud of these guys. They're like family to me, so.
I know. I think that's it. I'm gonna call for sure.
All right.